Yo, what's up guys, I'm Jedi. Today we're looking at the top 10 states in the US that are prepared to fight against COVID. So let's go. Alright, so number 10 we have Louisiana. Louisiana is taking really good steps to stop the COVID-19. So they're really good in like the medical field. So they have a lot of hospital beds, and then their emergency centers are a lot better. And right now their count is 2,744 cases with 119 deaths as of this video. So Louisiana, like their medical centers, like I mentioned, are like really like well taken care of, and their doctors and nurses are like taking really good care of their patients, so they're able to come out of that faster. And they have more emergency centers, so then like they could isolate their patients more, so then there's less spreading. And the doctors and nurses there are actually really like well trained, so they have their supplies and stuff like that. So medically, Louisiana is super prepared, and that's why they're number 10 on this list. Alright, number 9 we have Colorado. So one of the main reasons Colorado's doing really well is because of their population. So their elderly population is actually like the second to last lowest in the United States. This actually definitely helps a lot because COVID-19 is very like we know it's kind of directed towards the elders. So then since their population is really low there, their cases are only like 1,430 cases with only like 24 deaths, which isn't like a small number, but it's small compared to the other numbers. And since Colorado is really good at their population, they don't have that many elders, and they don't have that many people who actually have low immune system problems, because you're already at a high altitude back in Colorado. So all the people in Colorado, their population is very like good and controlled. And since most elders don't live there because the elevation and the altitude, they're doing really well in that point. Alright guys, next up we have Maine. So Maine is actually one of those places with like a lot of good population density in general. So we look at like Colorado and their elderly population, which is pretty low, but in Maine their overall population is really low. So then like their COVID-19 cases are only 168 with 1 death. So they're doing a really good job because they don't like have that many people who have it. So technically they are like a safe state also, because there's not that many people there. So we can't really consider them like one of the top states, safe states, even though they have such a low like death rate, because technically they don't have that much population, so they don't have that much to work off of. So it's not like, so the efforts they're taking are like, they're taking really good efforts, but the efforts that they have to take to contain like the virus is a lot less than what some of the other countries that we're gonna be, or some of the other states that we're gonna be looking at are gonna have to do. So New York has been getting a huge hit with 44,749 cases with 519 deaths. So New York has it's like been one of like the biggest targets, and it's just because there's a lot of people there and it's super easy to spread. So the virus has been spreading crazy there. But New York's actually taking a lot of good steps, like stopping the subway, stopping most of like transportation, and stopping people from going. But you know, New York's such a fast city, so it's kind of hard to contain. But since they're taking all those efforts, even though their case rate and death rate is really high, they're taking all like the really good efforts, and like I mentioned before, they are having to put in more effort than other smaller states. So that's why New York's on here. Number 6 is Connecticut with 1,012 confirmed cases and 21 deaths. So what makes Connecticut really good is the fact that their rainy day fund, which is basically like any emergency that happens, they're really funded when that happens. So since they're really funded, what happens is they are able to use that fund to completely stop the virus from spreading. So they're not like, so they're not usually like low on funds. So it's really helpful that they're really high ranked on that, because then they just use that money to open more rehabilitation centers, pay doctors, nurses, which really just shuts the virus down. So that's why they're doing really good in that part. Like, alright, so New Jersey has 8,825 confirmed cases. So New Jersey is actually like, you know, one of those, it's kind of like New York where it's taking a huge hit, but New Jersey is also taking really good like proper precautions to like stop that, and they're really good in like prevention and action plans. So New Jersey is kind of following the whole like New York thing, so they're kind of just veering towards that to completely stop the virus from spreading. So they're taking really good measures, and since they are a little bit less populated than New York, and since they're taking a little bit higher measures, we are going to be putting them on top of New York in this list. Alright, so New Hampshire has 158 confirmed cases with only 1 death. And like Maine, they're also like a really like low populated place, and then you know so then the chance that the things that they have to take are a little bit less. But one thing that we are going to give to them is the fact that they're actually excelling in two separate ones, where they are like, they have a low population, but they're also really good at their prevention and containment plans. So they're really good at that, and they're taking a lot of good steps and necessary steps to stop the virus from spreading. So that is why they're higher than Maine on this list. But they're pretty much, Maine and New Hampshire taking the same exact steps, and they're both only like they both only have one death, and like they're in the 3 digits with the cases. Okay, rounding off the top 3, we have Maryland. So Maryland has 775 cases with only 5 deaths. So Maryland's actually doing really good, but we're gonna give Maryland a small ticket here because they do have one of the best medical, they do have one of the best medical programs in the entire country. So they are able to do, they're able to take really good care of their people, because like their medical program is kind of on point, and so it really helps them. But either way, they're still taking a really good step, and that's why they're gonna be number 3 on this list, because of their low deaths and the population and also medical. So they're really good at all 3 of those things, so they'll be number 3. All right, at number 2 with 0 deaths, we have Rhode Island. They have 203 cases, but they have no deaths, and that's really cool. But they're still tied in first place with other like small states like Hawaii, Nebraska, and stuff like that. But still, they're actually excelling in 3 different like categories, which is medical. So their medical staff is really good, and population density is really low, and they also have a really good plan. So they're really good at all 3 things, and that's probably why they have 0 deaths. But they're doing really good, and they definitely deserve to be on the top 2 in this list. And with number 1 with 4,425 cases and only, in number 1 with 4,425 cases and only 85 deaths, they have pretty much, they're excelling at all the things that the other states are excelling at, and they're going even more, and they have the funding and everything. And the state is California. So California is actually one of the first states that actually ever got hit, because of the fact that the whole Grand Cruise thing was docked near Oakland, and the fact that when the virus came from Wuhan, people like a lot of people who got it came to San Francisco, because that's like a main like place where people would go off of. So California actually definitely got hit a lot, but they completely shut everything down. They took the right steps. They shut down schools, bars, work, everything. They just completely went on shutdown mode, lockdown, but everybody inside, really controlled everything. And their medical staff's on point. They had over 1 billion protective gloves, and since like it's Silicon Valley and there's like a lot of tech places, they're really well funded too. So California is able to fight this the best, and they're taking really good steps. So if there's going to be like a state that's going to come out on top, and people are going to be asking, okay, which state you think is going to do the best, which state you think is going to do like really good, it's definitely going to be California, because of the steps that they're taking. So what are you guys taking? What steps are you guys taking? Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys
like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you guys do that. Alright, and follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys next time with a different video. Bye.